Rosa Parks' husband had a car. So that just making my point right. Niggas ain't shit, bro. Niggas ain't shit, bro. Niggas will let anything happen to you. And he had a car. He had a fucking car.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Blunt Talk Podcast. If you are here right now and you are watching this, listening to this, it is Friday at 5 p.m. We have made it to another week, and I hope y'all had a good week. Okay, I just want to say welcome back to my Blunt Talk Podcast family. I know y'all missed me. I missed y'all. And I want to say hey to the Block 105 family. Thank you guys for welcoming me with open arms last month. We had a ball with those episodes, but it's time to kick it up a notch. Okay, we're gonna have fun this week. Okay, now the beginning audio is very fitting for today's show. Okay, today's show is what doesn't a crash out fix, and that's just that on that. And as my good sis Kiki Jones was crashing out, I too also crashed out this week. Okay? Like, minimum crash out wasn't anything OD, which I should be embarrassed of. But it was a definitely crash out nonetheless. Okay? On this week's episodes of Randy's Life is a Hot Mess and I'm Just a Girl, I definitely crashed out. Literally was looking like this meme. Okay, that was literally me. And I'm just here to say, as me just being a girl, a crash out is necessary. So how my crash out was set up was I crashed out, I vented to my best cousin, and then I went and had a nail appointment. And my nail appointment was tea, okay? Not only did my nails come out fire, y'all see? But, it was just like a vibe. Like the other girl that was getting her nails done was a vibe. Shout out to Kate Barbie, the owner of Rose Lounge. Girl shit, period. But my nail tech was a vibe. We was cackling, giggling. And yeah. So me just being a girl, I'm just here to say crash out is needed. Okay? It was needed. I feel better. I feel reset a little bit. And I didn't hurt nobody. Like I didn't talk shit to what affected me. I didn't, change the energy. Like, I literally just crashed out by myself, called my best cousin, went and got my nails done. Now, inquiring minds might be wondering why I crashed out, and I'm just going to give you a simple breakdown. Okay? Remember, I'm just a girl, but I'm also just a girl that has to deal with life, motherhood, and the pressures of being a creative, and sometimes that happens to take me out, okay? I don't know if my Blunt Talk Podcast family knows, but if you follow me on _Blunt Talk Podcast on Instagram, you will know that I now am on the radio Friday at 5. Coming with that, you need to be on time. Things cannot mess up. You feel me? And sometimes I just don't that's just not how life is. So I just, you know what I'm saying? So that just took me out. Mercury got their lemonade braids in. You know what I'm saying? So that might also be factoring into, you know what I'm saying, high energies. But yeah, I'm here and I'm feeling good. As you see, face is tea today. I'm feeling myself, clearly. You see my vibe. Okay. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. But yeah. That was this week's episode of Randy's Life a Hot Mess and I'm Just a Girl. Stay tuned for next week to see if I crash out again. Okay? Now, I want to get into some things, okay? What's on your timeline? Drop in the comments below what's on your timeline. I'm going to talk to y'all about what's been on my timeline. Because I don't know about y'all, but my social media has been piping hot. Like, real bad. Like, Mercury having his lemonade braids in got people acting crazy. It's just plain and simple. So, I like to talk about things that could be a little controversial. The first topic that I want to get into is the Smoothie King. I don't know if you guys seen on your timeline, but on my timeline, I came across a story where Smoothie King fired 2 girls due to discrimination. One of the girls, named Janiyah Michelle, went to social media to detail her account on what happened. She recalls a couple coming in looking for service. The boyfriend was wearing a Trump hoodie. Upon entering, the 2 workers greeted the customers and proceeded to tell the members to wait as they were dealing with people in the drive-thru. While the Patreons waited, I guess they were like staring into the sides of their heads. Now, sidebar. If you work customer service, you already fucking know that people be staring at y'all like, you be like, hi, thank you for coming in so-and-so, I'll be right with you. They be like this. Until you help them. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do that. Okay? And that's fucked up because I work in customer service. Excuse me. Ooh. Sorry about that. But yeah. So they told the couple to wait. They were staring at them, which made them feel uncomfortable. And so because they were feeling uncomfortable, they asked the customers to leave. Now the girls were black and the couple was white. Again, the boyfriend had a Trump hoodie and they asked them to wait and they were staring at them and they wanted them to leave. Smoothie King fired them and was basically like, you don't have the right to tell people when to leave. You still have to serve them. It doesn't matter what he was wearing, essentially. Now, as someone that worked in customer service, like I said, I had an experience like this before where I wasn't really uncomfortable, but like me working at Best Buy, I was natural at the time. Like I'm natural now with the locks. But I had like my little Afro puff going on back in the day. So I was working at Best Buy, and this was in the height of the police officers killing. That was like when Trayvon Martin first passed away, RIP, and that whole thing was going on. I had a customer walk up to me, and like I was helping him get a phone and then get a TV, and he was like, "Can I ask you a question?" Mind you, I definitely had a big puff in. He's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Why are you being so nice to me during this time?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like I haven't, like, are you shooting the kids and they coming back up here?" And he was like, "No." So I was like, "Okay, so like, why would I be mad? Like just because someone else is experiencing that doesn't mean I get to take my energy out on you. On top of that, this is my job. Keyword, this is my job. Like I if I want a paycheck, I need to do this." And at the time, my lifestyle, I needed to do that. I couldn't pick and choose that I didn't want to help people and potentially lose my job. I didn't have a support system really to fall back on. So with that, it was under the assumption that the Smoothie King had some type of policy set forth where for their employees, they were basically like, if they don't want to help you, they don't have to help you. But come to find out, unfortunately, they don't have that company policy. What it does say is in many businesses, not just Smoothie King, employees may step away if a customer is harassing, threatening, or they feel unsafe. There is abusive behavior towards staff, and a manager authorizes refusal of service. There is no manager there. Again, the people were just staring. Again, we only see what we've seen from the video footage. So there was video footage, and it was just like the girl was like, I'm not safe. Like I don't feel safe here. I just don't want to serve you. And the guy was like, is it because of what I'm wearing and what have you? Is it like, what, like this is discrimination basically? Like, is it about what I'm wearing or whatever? But yeah, I wanted to bring that to your attention. I don't feel the girls were wrong. I just wish they knew like what the turnout could be. Like just because you did what you felt was right, and some people may feel like what you did was right as well, does not mean like it gives an excuse for you to keep your job. And I'm not saying I wanted them to lose their job, but I wish they would have thought it through a little bit more. Just for that possibility. But in the moment, it's hard to think about stuff like that. Like, and again, we don't know if the couple said something to them that made them feel uncomfortable. For real, we only see what the video footage shows. So I want to talk about that because that was on my my timeline. Now for some myths. Did y'all see Ming Li at Cardi B's concert? And for y'all who are saying, who the fuck is Ming Li? Ming Li is Nicki Minaj's little sister. So as y'all know, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj might have a long-standing beef, probably just don't like each other, don't mesh. I don't know. I'm not a part of that circle. But from the general public, they don't like each other. And so Ming Li was spotted at Cardi B's tour in Houston. And she also went to the after party. Now, the bigger T is not only is she Nicki Minaj's sister, but word on the curb was she was dating Cardi B's ex-boyfriend, Tommy, at one point. So it was sort of kind of like crazy, like why you would be there and why you'd be in her face at that. But, you know, Cardi went on live to address it and stating how she feels like the girl needs guidance. However, she's not providing the guidance for the girl, but there's no issues. Like, she don't want no beef or whatever. It's also just crazy because me personally, people wonder why, you know, Nicki might not claim her. Is because you do stuff like this. Like, if you're my sister and you're going to my arch nemesis concert and you're in her face at her after party, I would be a little taken aback. I'm not gonna lie. I would definitely question like your loyalty real quick. Cause like, why are you doing it? And on top of that, again, you dated her ex. Like, you literally dated her ex-boyfriend. Like, what? Like, what? Whatever. I don't know. But then, like, devil's advocate here, right? Could you blame her though? Because at the same time, Nicki don't really claim that girl, and Nicki really be ignoring that girl. And I'm not saying that's an excuse, but like, Nicki really don't fuck with her. So like, is it a point where it's like, should I be beefing with this lady, or should I go have fun? Because their concerts seem fun. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Hey y'all, summer is officially around the corner. The dudes are outside on their dirt bikes. Okay, they doing tricks up and down the street. What I need y'all to do is, ladies, if you want to get your fupa and your body right and tight, but you want to work out in style, please go shop wearplayground.com and get your sleek, stylish activewear. Yup, and you know, because you're part of the Blunt Talk podcast family, I'm going to hook you up. Save 20% off your order and use the promo code BPT to get your savings. Don't forget to tell them Randy sent you. Bye. I also want to get into a couple things as well, right? So, I don't know if you guys, I don't want to say have been like keeping up, but followed B. Simone, right? And I'm only asking if you followed B. Simone because B. Simone came out with her own podcast. I don't know the podcast name, so I'm not even trying to guess it. But she used to have a podcast with one of her ex-best friends, and then they stopped that podcast for whatever reason. I don't know why they stopped that podcast. But they stopped the podcast, and then she did her own podcast, and like there was controversy because like the pilot was very messy. Like, it was very messy. It wasn't anything that you would basically do towards someone who used to be your best friend. But she did it, and she started doing her own thing. And then she did something else. Aside from that messy situation that she had with her best friend, she went on social media and was complaining about her shopping at Bergendorf's or something like that, and how she wants people to buy her book. And then also, didn't she steal her book? It has just been a plethora. I know it's really plethora, but I'm going to say it like that. A plethora of things that this lady has done. And the internet wasn't fucking with it. So she took to her Instagram to literally say that she's sorry.
To publicly apologize to the internet, to God, to anybody that I offended, anybody that I've hurt, with my words, maybe on the mic, or maybe my opinions, or maybe me saying something out of like a response or flesh instead of truly letting it marinate in the Holy Spirit and let him speak through me. When I started this platform, I was in a really dark space. A part of me starting LTTA was to prove that I could stand on my own, or prove that y'all aren't going to keep me down, or prove that I'm going to have a podcast. It's going to be successful. It's going to be the number one podcast in the world. I'm B. Simone. Y'all ain't going to keep me down for long. And I can't say at the beginning of this, my relationship was as strong with God as it is now. So at the beginning of this, yes, I made a lot of mistakes. Yes, there was a lot of bleeding on the internet. Yes, I was so broken when I started LTTA. And I'm just so grateful that I can publicly say this. I can publicly take accountability. I'm glad God is shifting my heart. I'm so different, and God is working on me, and he just chose me to be worked on publicly. So y'all are going to constantly see me fall. Y'all are going to constantly see me sway and bend and break, but y'all are going to constantly see me get up.
I don't know, like, I just wasn't moved. In the video, and I'll also play it for y'all, but in the video, basically, she apologizes to the internet, God, and to anyone that she ever offended, and basically she didn't mean to do that. And the question that I'm trying to get is the apology money driven, or is it genuine? Because I don't think she's getting, like, I don't want to say like the whole, like, I don't like the whole plight. Like, I don't think she's getting, like, let me get my words together before I do word vomit with y'all. And back. I think she wants to reach the level of success that she might have had before. She was talking about how there has been, low months and high months, and how that could affect her finances. Like, on a low month, she's making maybe $500, $1,000. And on a good month, she might be pulling in 10,000 or a good week. You feel me? And I think she wants to get back to having those good runs all of the time. However, the things that she has done might have placed a distasteful taste in people's mouths where they don't subscribe to what she's putting out anymore. So, like, if what she has done affected her craft, then it may seem like it's a little money driven, because now she's like, I need to get back on my fans. I need to get people back on my side. What she did with Megan, what's her name? What she did with Megan was fucked up. Her stealing that book and selling it, and it's just been a lot. My question is, should she try to rebrand? Like, fuck the podcast. Like, should she do something else? I don't know. I never was like a big fan of her. I did go to her stand-up, and she was absolutely hilarious. I would give her that. I had to bawl at her stand-up when she came out to Connecticut. But I never was like a diehard fan. I did watch her podcast with her best friend. It was very nice. Like, I really did like it. I do watch episodes that appease me on her new podcast, and I didn't see it when all the drama was going around, but like, it's not bad. So I just don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't know. I wish her the best though. I just want y'all to answer for me if you think her apology is more so money driven, or if you think it was genuine. And I also, like I said, I showcased the video for y'all, so I hope y'all watch that. Hey y'all, I am calling all my matcha lovers, okay? I definitely do have the drop. As y'all know, I love matcha, but I hate spending the matcha prices outside of the house. Matcha be like $20 for one cup, okay? Especially if it's made right. But don't worry, Big Cousin Randy got something for y'all. I need y'all to go on mantramatcha.com. Don't forget to add the discount code BPT to save you 50% off your order. Okay? Let them know Randy sent you. Right. So on the next topic, what I want to talk to y'all about is I actually want to spark a fact with y'all. Okay? It's basically a part of the What's on Your Timeline segment, but it's like a part 2 segment. Okay? So on Spark a Fact, I want to share a fun fact that I learned this week that I thought was really, really cool. Okay, so did you guys know that Moni Slaughter, aka Little Fizz's baby mama, Little Fizz from B2K, and also she was on Love and Hip Hop, she actually sung the America's Next Top Model theme song for the whole entire cycles that it was. That was her voice. I did not even know that. Okay, not only does she have that writing credit, but she also has songwriting credits for Akon and Marcus Houston. Look at me teaching y'all something. If y'all didn't know, I am a Gemini, so we love weird, random, and just random facts, topics, theories, if you will. We just love everything about it. Okay, hey y'all, spring is around the corner, and so is summer. So you know you need to stock up on your sunglasses. Okay, we know sunglasses are getting expensive, especially the good quality branded sunglasses. So what I need y'all to do is shop Aquila Sunglasses Eyewear, and of course you already know I got you a discount code. Follow the link. It is www.akila.la, and don't forget to add the discount code BPT to save you 10% off your order. Let them know Randy sent you. Bye. Okay, now this is gonna go into what I really want to talk to y'all about today. This was actually brought to me. This was one of the listener topics, and so I made it into a whole segment. My Blunt Talk Podcast family is saying this girl is always revamping and rebranding. Yes, as I say, if y'all don't see nothing from me, it's because I'm really trying to do stuff on the back end and like spice it up and make it not boring. Okay, it's bad enough I'm a solo podcaster and I just be yip yapping, tip tapping, and boop a dapping to y'all for like an hour. So I wanted to take this time and spice up the show a little bit, and I added a new segment. Well, all the segments are new. But I added something fun that's going to go with my Gemini-esque, okay? So we have Smoke and Speculation, and this was curated around the listener topic. So on the listener topic this week, I was asked to speak about the Epstein files, okay? Now, I don't want to bore y'all to death with all of the who, what, like not the who, what, when, and hows, but I don't want to bore you guys with the regular rhetoric that y'all been hearing, whether it's degrading him or putting their negative spin and their thoughts behind it. Like, I wanted to literally give y'all the who, what, when, why, and how, because some of us don't even know how this even came about. Okay, so I'm going to make it into a full-on segment, Smoke and Speculation. No, not every week are we going to talk about the Epstein files, but we're going to talk about something that could be like a conspiracy theory, or just something that we're speculating, but we can't really put our finger on. You feel me? So shout out to, I forgot who sent in the listener topic. I'll be sure to include that right there. Sorry, I can't even think right now. I'm very excited, but thank you for sending in the listener topic. And most importantly, thank you for trusting me to even talk about this, because this is some serious shit. Okay? Not only is this serious shit, but this is things that has been speculated and at one point was a conspiracy theory. Like, people could not believe that anyone would ever think that he would do something like that, right? So the very first part of this, like I said, I'm going to break it down into who, what, when, why, and how. I feel like that's a great place for us to start, because not a lot of people are doing that. So the who. The who is a part of the Epstein files. We have Jeffrey Epstein, which is a wealthy financier accused of running a large sex trafficking ring involving underage girls. There is Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate who helped recruit and groom victims. She was convicted in 2021. We have obviously the victim and survivors. Dozens of women have come forward and have been coming forward. And men also. I've been seeing some men pop up on TikTok alleging that they were trafficked, abused as minors. The people who were also involved were high profile acquaintances. We have politicians, celebrities, business leaders whose names appear to be in contact books, flight logs, testimonies, things of that nature. And also we have the investigators, journalists, prosecutors, basically the people who were working to expose the network. Now, the what is the Epstein file, okay? The Epstein file is court documents from civil lawsuits filed by victims, depositions where witnesses and associates gave sworn testimonies, flight logs from the private jet, contact books, address books listing hundreds of acquaintances, government investigation records from federal and local law enforcement, and then documents relating to documents from cases such as Jeffrey versus Maxwell, which led to a lot of the records being unsealed, right? So I also want to preface this to saying there was, I believe, 3.5 million pages that were published in waves. The numbers that I seen was like 1,800 pictures, 2,000 videos, and like 3 million of like redacted files. Don't quote me, but I believe those are the numbers. Those are fairly close. I have been researching this and trying to figure out how to compile this for y'all and make it digestible. So that's really the hold up. This listener, let me get close to y'all. The listener topic is what held up the podcast episode. I didn't want to fuck it up. You know, I wanted to make it in a very digestible way and just basically bring you guys up to speed with what I have. I didn't want to throw in too much emotion, but I wanted to make it just perfect. So I didn't know how to compile that, but those were the numbers that I do remember researching when I was looking into it for the last 3 weeks. Okay, let's get back into it. Okay, so the win, it dates back to the early 2000s, where the first major investigations happened in Florida, and then it went to 2008, where he pleads guilty in a controversial plea deal to state charges involving prostitution with a minor, and that's when a family sued him for having relations with their daughter. And then in 2019, he was arrested again on a federal level for sex trafficking charges in New York. And then in 2019, he dies in jail awaiting trial. For y'all that are driving, I have the AirPods up heavily on the August 2019. He dies in jail waiting for trial. 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell is convicted for sex trafficking, and 2023 and 2024 courts unsealed additional Epstein-related documents, often referred to by media as the Epstein files, right? Where did all this take place, you might ask? Palm Beach, Florida, New York, the U.S. Virgin Islands, his homes that he had in Manhattan, New Mexico, Paris, in the Caribbean also appear to be in the investigation records as well. How did he get to these children? Like, how was this a thing? Recruitment, as I said above, Ghislaine Maxwell was one of the people who would groom and recruit the girls, or the younger girls were approached and recruited by other girls that were already involved in the situation. Then they were groomed by Epstein and his associates with money, gifts, and opportunities. For transportation-wise, they were flown in. They got flued out. Okay, it's not a time to joke. Sorry. But they were flown in, or they driven to the properties. And then, his associates as well would also help to arrange travel, scheduling, and recruitment as well. Now, a lot of people are probably like, why the fuck do they matter? I'll be the one to tell you. They matter because this was a powerful trafficking operation that went on for a duration of time with high-profile people. Some of your favorite celebrities have been spotted in these pictures. Most importantly, your president, because he's not mine, your president has millions of pictures. There are survivors coming out left and right speaking about this. I'll leave it at that. But again, it reveals connections between him and these influential figures. It supports the victim's civil cases that got overlooked for years, which then will help with justice, potential compensation, but heavy on the justice part. And then also, it will put a spotlight on how people thought it was a fucking... People literally thought this was a conspiracy theory for so long. And it's like, how would this be a conspiracy theory? The same... The same way people thought that Diddy was a conspiracy theory with all his gay activities and his abuse, it came out to not be conspiracy theory. We're going to take a pause into Jeffrey Epstein talk. I want you guys to really put on your thinking caps. Everything, I don't want to say like everything that we have known, but like a majority of the things that are conspiracy theory come out to be accurate. Example, aliens. Now the government wants to say that they've fucking seen aliens. Are we forgetting the mall incident in Florida? Was that in Miami? The mall. We'll save that for the next week's smoking speculation. But aliens. I can't think of another conspiracy theory right now because I'm not gonna lie, I am getting hungry. But for aliens, and then this one, there's people that did not want to believe that there's going to be people doing things like this, especially the things that they were talking about in these in these files. Like in these files, they're talking about heinous things. Like I don't even really want to say what they said that they see. Heinous things done to babies. For all my audio listeners, I just gestured to what they were doing. So please come check out this video on YouTube. But you know, they were babies. They were over here, harassing and sexually assaulting these minors. They were actually being mean to them. They were burning them. Like there's just so much things that were done. And people were like, it's a lie. And to find out that it's not a lie, and for them to now push it out onto us, but they're pushing it out onto us and they're redacting things. Like they're like taking things away, which I would expect. I don't expect the government to be honest with us. The government has never been honest with us. But like for them to try and literally try to keep the veil over our eyes and say that we're not reading what we're reading, because I'm going to find the name and probably tell y'all next week. But there was a TikTok creator that was unredacting the things. Like the government on the DOJ website would put the redactions in, and then there was a way, like once they got rid of it, there was a way for us to go back and undo it and see the picture. And that's because we were coding MySpace, babe. The government gotta be a little bit quicker than that. Okay, gotta be quicker than that. Because what the hell? But yeah, it's just heinous things were being done and people didn't want to believe it until now. And it's just, this goes to show you how far they're willing to go. Like, honestly. So what was in the files? Deposition, sworn testimony, witnesses, accusers, associates were questioned under oath about Epstein, Maxwell, and alleged trafficking. There was contact books, phone records. Epstein kept detailed contact lists with hundreds of names from politicians, business, entertainment, and academic. Flight logs, emails, and letters between Epstein, Maxwell, associates, and sometimes victims. And there was there's allegations from the victims, and there was also pictures and videos of the victims. There is also them talking about COVID in there. You know, there was just a lot of things that they discussed. Bill Gates was in there as well. But hey, I'm not going to keep dropping names. I don't want to do too much. Okay? I don't want to do too much. I just want to do enough. I do want to say that the people being named in documents does not always link them to criminal activity. However, it's just very suspect as to why your name would be in there anyway, why you would be associated with that, right? Right. I know I said I was going to talk about how I feel, but I sort of kind of been shifting back and forth, and I just want to go back to like how I feel. How I feel reading this and knowing that this has been going on, because like I said, I'm a Gemini. I love weird fucking things. I love I love conspiracy theories. I love weird facts. I love things that people don't know. So I've been heard about this. This is nothing new to me. However, I'm just not surprised. Like, the things that I'm starting to realize is the things that are in movies and TV shows are not just for shits and giggles and things that people made up and just put it out. It's things that they could reference. I wouldn't go far as to say as personal experiences, but it's things that they could reference, right? And so I don't put things past anybody. It bothers me that they were not stopped and children were not protected. I feel like this is just the beginning. I feel like this could be linked to so much more things that I don't feel like the world is ready to talk about. Again, I just low-key stated how there was talks about COVID in these emails. The pandemic just happened 5-6 years ago. So how are these things being discussed in emails? It feels like we're just numbers. We're just Barbies and Ken dolls to these people. I feel like everything that people think they're living for, they're not really living for, but they're too scared to realize that. And I feel like this didn't shift the community enough. I feel like people should be talking about this more. I feel like people people who can make a change should be speaking about this more and sharing this on their platform, but they're just not. I feel like we got too complacent with being safe, and it makes me nervous a little bit. I also feel like this is just now outside of the Jeffrey Epstein things. I feel like just in general, as a society, we are not angry enough. When it comes to things with ICE, when it comes to how our country is being ran, I feel like because we don't know where to start, we're not starting at all. I feel like, and I say this all the time, if you're listening to this, I probably said this on Wednesday for side B noise control. But I feel like because we don't know where to start, we won't start at all. And I feel like people just rather have a good time instead of understanding that some things that our ancestors fought for are being undone. I feel like people are not standing for anything, but they're not necessarily falling for everything either. They're just not standing. Because I feel like we think it could never happen to us. So there's just a lot of things that I feel that I hope change. I don't say we should cause chaos and storm the Capitol. But I wish that we maybe fight a little bit more and harder. It's not right, the things that are being done. It's not right reading about the things that were done to some of these children, to hearing them account for what they remember. It's not right. And I don't know. Like, I just wish as a society we would do better. I didn't fully read the files because I was seeing people who do this shit for like a living. That's their content creation. They were fucked up down bad about it. And they were telling people, do not look into this like that if you want to maintain your sanity. You know what I mean? So it's just like the things that I did look at, I was sort of kind of appalled. But it's just, it's just not surprising. Um, it's just not surprising. Last but not least, I just want to say, I just want us to catch a break. There's just been so much traumatic things going on, especially for this generation. There's so much traumatic things going on that I just want us to catch a break for a little bit, catch our breath and have a ball. Like, yeah, during the pandemic, we were having a ball because we had a bag, but it's like, I want us to have a ball and not have to feel like, oh, wars are coming. Let's have fun while we can. You know what I mean? I don't know. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Okay? I have been talking to y'all for 50 fucking minutes. All I know is that I am starving. Okay? I need something to eat immediately before I perish. Okay? I want to say thank you guys for tuning in with me to my Blunt Talk podcast family. Thank you for coming back. You know I love you guys so much. For my The Block 105 family, I hope I didn't scare y'all away. Stay tuned for next week because there's going to be more. There's going to be more of what's on your timeline. There's going to be more of Spark Effect. There's going to be more of Smoke and Speculation. Okay? And don't forget, anything that you want to hear, I would love to talk about. As you heard, the Jeffrey Epstein was a listener's topic. Shout out to the listener for tuning in and asking us to share our thoughts about that whole hot mess of a situation. But yeah, tune in with me. Follow me on Instagram at _Blunt Talk Podcast and stay up to date. You can catch me on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on Side B Noise Control, and that's on Ignomatic Radio. And of course, you can catch me on Friday at 5 p.m. on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and of course, The Block 105. All right? I hope y'all enjoyed today's conversations. We talked about a lot. We kikied a lot. And stay tuned. Who knows what I have up my sleeve for next week? Or the week after that. Or the week after that. Love y'all. Randy out. Bye.